Hello again. I made the non-negotiables when doing due diligence very detailed, so pardon me if this will be a long video, but I promise you it will be a good value if you are trying to invest. Okay. So the non-negotiables when doing the due diligence. So identify if you can't use the property, you can't sell it, you can't profit from it. Those are the big red flags. You can't use the property when it has illegal occupants. Pardon the spelling. It has no right of way. It has restriction from the village, the developer, or the bank. We will discuss more of this later. It is in an undesirable area, for example, near a garbage dump area, a slaughterhouse, a wet market. There are squatters in that certain lot that you're about to buy, or even there is a funeral parlor just across the street. Okay, I don't think anybody would buy or rent in that area. So you cannot sell the property if there are missing documents or issues. We will dive deep into it. So this is just an example of a missing document. So missing date of survey approval in the title. It says here February 1, 1996 and was approved on ... So no approval. It is an example of a technical description error. This is actually, we were about to close this deal, but upon due diligence, we found that there are already 3 buyers of this property. So the owner have previously sold this property to 3 different people. So had I bought this property, I would have been the 4th buyer. So this property was located in Cebu near Mactan Doctors. Very beautiful area just across Mactan Doctors. But apparently, there are 3 memorandum of encumbrance here, and all the cases are still active. So this is why we do due diligence. This is how important. This would have been a 4 million deal. Imagine that we would have lost 4 million plus an attorney fee of how many years. So you can't sell the property if, example, there are missing documents or less pendants or court cases. Okay. Buyers cannot get a loan. Your buyer, if you plan to renovate and sell that property for a profit, they cannot get a loan. It will not be accepted as collateral. There are obvious hazards buyers will avoid. Flood-prone area, beside a creek, they don't want that. When it's a stagnant creek, that's even worse because it would smell and the mosquitoes would be infesting the area. Also, watch if it is in a crime-infested area. No buyer or no renter will be renting or buying in that area. Main thing would be the house is, main thing is the structural problem. So the columns, the beams is cracking na. It's too costly. You need to knock the house down. So you can't profit if there are taxes that are unpaid, which is quite high. You also need to check if the homeowner association dues are paid by the bank or the owners, the condo dues. Otherwise, you will shoulder all these expensive costs. And sometimes the previous owner will leave electricity bills. This is quite complicated. Carl, how do you check all this? So there are 7 steps in doing this. First is you call the bank or the owner, you get the status of the property. Is it occupied? Is it already sold? Is the property under a case or litigation? Does the title have any pending cases? If yes to any of the above, move on. Don't even bother because it's just gonna cause headache. And then step 2, request for the property details. Exact address, location, vicinity map, subdivision map. Request a copy of the title, request a copy of the tax deed, request a copy of the lot plan, aka sketch plan or survey. Request a picture if it's available. Any issues that can affect the transfer of ownership, you have to check as well. An example is it is not yet consolidated. Mostly this happens in foreclosed properties. The title is still under the previous owner's name and not yet to the bank. Or another example, the tax declaration is under a different name and then the title is also in a different name. So it's not yet consolidated, meaning they are not yet in one. Ask who will pay the taxes, arrears, homeowners association, condo dues, electricity. Ask the bank or the previous owner who will shoulder this extra cost. Ask if there are any restriction from the developer, from the village, from the bank. Some developers or some village will only allow you to build a certain structure. For example, in a high-end subdivision, they will not allow you to build just any bahay kubo in there. If there are restrictions from the bank, sometimes if you buy the land from the bank, their restriction commonly is they will not allow you to build any house there until it is fully paid. Step 3, schedule an ocular viewing. Okay, does the property have a caretaker? Is this foreclosed property have a caretaker? Then that's even better. Schedule a viewing during daytime because most of these properties, the foreclosed ones, have no electricity. So then during the daytime, you can see properly even if the lights are off. Also, if possible, you need to request an authorization letter from the bank or from the owner so that the guard will let you in, because some of these subdivisions, the guard will ask you, what are you doing here? So if that's the case, then you show them the picture, you show them the vicinity map, and you show them the authorization letter that you will do an ocular inspection. Otherwise, the guard will not let you in. So step 4, part 1, check the accessibility. Right of way. Is your car able to come in if you have a car? Or is the right of way too narrow? Does it have an illegal occupants? If possible, bring your contractor already so you can estimate a cost. So this is an example of a very narrow right of way. I think this is only a 1.5 meter. This is going to be a problem in the future because most people nowadays have a car. And if you're buying a property with no right of way, then you will have a problem selling it or renting it. Step 4, part 2, get the property measurement. Mostly you can get this already from the owner's sketch plan, right? Take a videos, take pictures, because sometimes during your ocular inspection, you will miss something. That way, if you have a video and a picture, then you can review it later when you get home. You have to ask permission from the owner or from the caretaker. Or check if there are encroachment. Are you encroaching your neighbor's property line or are they encroaching your property line? You just need to know these things before you buy the property. This is not really a deal breaker for me. We recently bought a property that has our neighbors is encroaching to our property a little bit, maybe a few centimeters. Their wall is stepping into our property. It's okay. It's not a big deal. I did not make a drama out of it. Check if there's a creek. You don't want that. Careful if there's a creek nearby your property. Check if you are near the cliff. Check if your property is under those big power lines. Check for flood lines. I will put the link below so you can check if your property is in a flood prone area. You can check that under noah.com.ph. I will put the link below. So step 4, part 3, check if there are other potential buyers to the property you are viewing, because you're gonna wanna check quicker because you have plenty of competition. While visiting the location, always take note of the comparable sales or the comparable properties or comparable rent. Get the contact details of those neighbors if possible, because you can gather a lot of information from them. And ask the bank officer or the caretaker when can you go back and visit if possible. If there are any deal breakers, then move on to the next. You don't want headache, you want to make money. Step 5, check the title of the property. This is I think the most important, okay? Go to RD, request for a certified true copy of the title. You can bring the photocopy of the title from the owner or from the bank. Also, you can check this, you can request this online actually. I normally don't go to RD because the line is so long and you have to be there the whole day. I just do this online. You can get the certified true copy online. I will also put the link below. Okay, check for annotation of the title like less pendants or pending cases. If any of that is present, then just move on. So this is an example of a less pendants. Okay, entry number, and then there's the date. So versus BDO. So the owner and the bank is fighting over these cases. So now sometimes these cases are already settled and it just needs to be updated to the RD. Now you can ask the bank if these cases are settled, and if they are, can they please update the RD so that these less pending cases in the title can be removed and it now becomes clean title. Step 5, part 2. Check for any annotation. Like I said, check if it's a clean title. Check for encumbrance. Example, does it still have a loan? If you're buying from the buyer, is it still under a mortgage or a loan? Check for any court cases. Is it settled or not? Section 7, Republic Act 26. I'm not really a lawyer and I just looked this up online, but usually previous owner died and then the children are all claiming for the one property. Step 5, part 3. Okay, check for any annotation. Again, check for section 4, rule 74, any extrajudicial settlement. Normally, again, the previous owner have died and now the children are the inheritant of the property. Check for adverse claims. So get the opinion of the RD personnel. You know, if the title has any other issues, then they will let you know. Part 4, check if the bank is already the registered owner of the title. Is it consolidated? Is the tax declaration and the title already in possession of the bank or of the owner? Check. You always need to check. Ask the bank what is their time frame of consolidating these requirements. So step 6, check the tax declaration. Go to the municipal assessor's office and get a certified through copy of the tax declaration. Just bring a photocopy of the address. You will just need to pay and they will give you within the day. This is quite quick if you request a certified true copy of the tax declaration. So you have now the title, you now have the tax deck, you match them together if there's no discrepancy. One tip as well is you check the discrepancy in lot area and floor area of the house. If there is any undeclared floor area of the house, then during transfer you might get penalized. So talk to the bank who will shoulder the penalty. I will give you an example. So this property, it says in the advertisement, say floor area 114 square meters. But upon checking the tax declaration, they only declared 83 square meters. So big discrepancy. You will get penalized during the transfer. So you have to coordinate with the seller or the bank who will shoulder the penalty for this. Step 6, go to the tax mapping section to verify if the property you have visited is the same property indicated in the title. You have to check if your property is the actual property registered in the city assessor's office. It will give you tax declaration number, title number. You just need to double check it. So this is just a bit of an extra precaution. Actually, I don't do this anymore. If I see the tax deck is okay, if I see the title is okay, then we go ahead and buy it. But if you are extra cautious, then yes, you can do this as well. I would probably do this if, say for example, I'm buying a farmland. I would want to verify if the actual property I visited is the actual property in the title and in the tax deck. Okay, so like I said, only 100 pesos. City assessor's office, it's not expensive. And we are at step 7. Normally, in some cases there are unpaid property taxes. So you're gonna wanna check before buying. Go to the city municipal treasurer's office and ask for a statement of account. How much is the arrears of this property? Is it up to date? Sometimes I've seen properties where they have not paid their property taxes for 7 years, 10 years. So you check if there are unpaid utility bills. You also gonna wanna check. I recently bought a property where there were unpaid utility bills. I just paid for it. It was only 3,000. Check if there's arrears, how much, and who will shoulder. Homeowners Association dues, condo dues. Get the latest statement of account. Sometimes if you want to buy a condominium, then you get the latest statement of accounts. How many years have they not paid their condo dues? Who will shoulder the payment? You, the buyer, or the seller? So congratulations, salamat, thank you for listening this till the end, no? So if there are any deal breakers for you there, yeah, you can either decide not to buy or to buy the properties. So I have linked a due diligence checklist in Google Drive. You guys can download that. No need to thank me. So if you have any questions or clarifications about this video, comment down below. Okay, PM me. Thank you very much for listening. Bye bye.